Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 191, Mayberry After Midday, part 1. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the wonderful folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Drop by Weaver's Department Store and you'll find all kinds of wonderful Mayberry items. So drop by over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners just like you. So if you'd like to donate, head over to the Two Chairs No Waiting website and you'll see the donate button and you can donate now. And thank you so much for your support. And thank you to the Mayberry Band for our theme song for Two Chairs No Waiting. Folks, it's great to have you with me here for Two Chairs No Waiting. I've been thinking for a while, what if the Andy Griffith Show had been on the radio? Like old time radio. What if it had been that? Wouldn't it be great to discover that there are some unknown scenes with the folks from Mayberry starring in them? Wouldn't that be great? Well, for the next 2 episodes of Two Chairs No Waiting, we'll explore that together. Writer Joe Gritton has provided a wonderful script featuring Mayberry's barber, Floyd Lawson, and door-to-door salesman, Bert Miller. The episode is done in the spirit of old-time radio. So sit back and use your mind's eye to picture the goings-on in our hometown of Mayberry, North Carolina. We definitely want to have that. So everybody if you're not driving, close your eyes and sit back and use your imagination. And let's get your mind's eye going. So let's go ahead and start like this was an old radio program. Well, here we are for part 1 of Mayberry After Midday. We find Bert Miller walking down the sidewalk. He's walking down Main Street, heading from the Mayberry Grande toward the courthouse. As Bert nears Floyd's barbershop, he slows down and considers going down for a rest on the bench outside the barbershop. Let's join him now in Mayberry and hear what happens. Let's listen.
Hey, well, hello, Bert. Come on in. You look a little tired.
Oh, thank you, Floyd. I don't want to be a bother. Can I just sit on the bench out there? I was just a little afraid of that goat that was tied up out there.
Oh, yeah, well, yes. Well, that's just Jimmy. Yeah, Hudge probably just left him tied up there while he did a little bit of shopping.
Oh, well, I didn't want to disturb him. I didn't want to bother him or anything. The goat was there first, after all.
Well, it doesn't matter. The shop's empty. Quiet afternoon, I guess. Have a seat.
Thanks. It's good to set the case down and get off my feet for a while. It's been a long day of ringing doorbells. Hey, what's that sign there in the window, Floyd?
Oh, that's about the big hayride coming up Friday night. Yeah.
A hayride? Well, that sounds like fun. But isn't that just for children?
Oh, no, it's not. No. There have been a lot of good stories coming out of those hayrides. Some romances began there, you know.
Oh, really? Like who?
Well, Barney and Thelma Lou, for starters.
Oh, well, I thought they met at Wilton Blair's funeral.
Well, that's where they met. But that funeral parlor that Mr. Swamp took over from Orville Monroe, it's not really a place to strike up a romance. Even though there often are flowers around.
Yeah, I guess the mood is a little, cold.
Yeah, that's funny. Cold. The back room is cold. It's cold. I went back there one day to comb Johnny Harris's hair. God rest his soul. After you've been kicked in the head by a mule, getting the part right takes a little extra work.
Well, I would imagine so. Well, how did Barney and Thelma Lou meet then?
Well, Barney was lining up some cars for the funeral procession, you see, and he was being very fussy about the order. You know, something about widow, parents, children, sisters, brothers, niece, nephews, and so on. Well, he's very particular about those type things. Sometimes he won't eat his main course until the fruit and vegetables have been eaten. Andy one time, Andy asked him why he was letting a few green beans hold up his fried chicken. While it was still hot, he wouldn't eat. He said something about his stomach being a finely tuned instrument. It was used to a certain order of cadence of food groups and things like that. That's what Barney said.
Well, that's a little silly. It all goes to the same place, doesn't it?
That's right. Yes, that's right. Andy said, Barney, I wouldn't want to stir up your marching band of food groups or anything, but you better make sure your drumsticks and your marching thighs don't get left behind, because it's good chicken. It's good chicken. Drumsticks and marching band thighs. Anyway, Thelma Lou wasn't a blood relative of Wilton. But her mother, they'd been very good friends of Miss Blair, and she wanted Thelma Lou to be up there with the immediate family.
Oh, a breach of Barney's protocol then, huh? Dessert before drumsticks.
That's right, and he walks up to her car and said, well, little lady, just what do you think you're doing parking your car here along with the immediate family? Funeral procession protocol, it calls for the widow, living parents, children, brothers, sisters. Well, about that time, he stopped immediately.
Did a thought hit him?
No, a car door did. She flung that door open to stand up to Barney. She flung it up. They caught him right in the gut. And she didn't even notice. And she stood up, her pretty long black dress with a lace collar, and said, well, officer, my mother happens to be Mrs. Blair's best friend, and I spent lots of times as a little girl at her house, and Wilton used to read to me. In fact, when my mother took ill, I moved in to live with them for a while. Then her face welled up in tears, and she kept on going. She said, I may not be a blood relative, but they were like parents to me.
Oh, goodness. Barney really stepped into that one, didn't he? I bet he felt real bad.
Oh, yes, he did. He felt terrible. You see, he was leaning over, trying to catch his breath from the door that hit him in the stomach. Was opening his arms to give her a hug, to comfort her while she was crying. She fell into his arms, sobbing, and he held on to her because he felt bad. And they stood there long enough time that Chester Jones hollered from across the street, hey, Barney, you going to give her a ticket or a kiss?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I guess that was awkward.
Yeah, Barney was pretty embarrassed. He found out she was moving back to Mayberry to stay with Mrs. Blair for a while. She just finished her secretarial school and was going to try to get a job at the insurance office. He felt bad. He felt bad, so he invited her to go on the hayride that weekend.
Oh, the hayride. So that's where the romance began.
Well, technically, the romance began right there on the street outside Wilton Blair's funeral, with her tears in her eyes and him trying to catch his breath. But yes, the cover bridge out by Jeff Pruitt's place, that one?
Yeah. Didn't that used to be a barn until Jeff decided to make a road through there between his cornfields for his tractors, to get to the main road faster?
Yeah, that's the one. Pruitt's Path. Yeah, Pruitt's Path. Yeah. Well, I hear that they were going through that dark bridge, and Jeff took kind of slow, pulling the wagon over the barn floor. When they came out the other side, Barney had lipstick all over his face. Jenny Boone threw her husband Fred off the wagon, and Harold Fletcher and his girl Lorraine were engaged, and Phoebe Gilbert, she was looking really good there, too.
Whoa. Oh, that's some covered bridge. Who was with Phoebe?
Nobody. Nobody when the night started. But they say Mr. Swamp moved over real close to her and had a big smile on his face and cleared his throat a few times.
Yeah, like he was going to talk.
Yeah. Well, either that or sing a song or something.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you know him. Yeah. You know, I knew him back when he actually made sounds. Oh, he was just such a mess of the uhs and the stutters. I rung his doorbell one time, and he stood there for 5 minutes trying to say, "Come in." Oh, I finally opened up my case and brought some socks and some ties and matching pocket squares and a big roll of two-sided sticky tape. He bought it all.
Oh, you know, he needed that tape for, you know.
Well, to keep the pocket squares in.
Yeah. Well, let's just say to tape down the rugs so he didn't slide around or blow away.
Oh, Floyd. Yeah, that could be a hazard if your rug slides, yeah, especially if he dances a lot.
Yeah. Well, he does like to cut a rug, doesn't he? Yeah, he's a party animal, Mr. Schwaber. Yeah, he gets to flirting with the ladies and drinking root beer, and then who knows what he's smiling and nodding about. Who knows what he's doing? Yeah. Oh, look out the window there. Is that Nellie walking by? Hi, Nellie.
Hello, Nellie. Hello.
Yeah, she's got a nice wave. Yeah, a nice wave. Yeah, she don't say much, though. She's a lot like Mr. Swan.
Yeah, come to think of it, she is a little bit like him, isn't she?
Well, a little bit of gossip going on there over at the barbershop, wasn't there? Well, folks, hope you enjoyed hearing from Bert and Floyd this week. And next week, we'll hear a little bit more of what's going on over at the barbershop as we'll join them right where we left off. So make sure you join us next week here on Two Chairs No Waiting for a little bit more of a Mayberry radio show. And folks, love to hear from you. You can contact us at Floyd@imayberry.com, or you can drop by the website at twochairsnowaiting.com and tell us there what you got to say. You can call us. There's all kinds of ways. You can call us at 888-684-8415. Lots of ways to contact us, and we'd love to hear from you. And don't forget our sponsor over at Weaver's Department Store, weaversdepartmentstore.com. Well, folks, we'll see you next week on Two Chairs No Waiting.